Hey folks, what's going on? Justin Masson here with Nintendo Dads with a kind of a little bit of a conversation. So, it's the end of the month. What am I thinking? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thinking this week we should be getting a mainstay Nintendo Direct. And you're asking, why? Justin, we haven't got one for 3 months, a mainstay Nintendo Direct. Of course, we've talked about indies, we've talked about Pokemon, we've talked about Super Smash Brothers. What are you talking about by a mainstream Nintendo Direct? Well, these are the ones where typically Nintendo gives us the 30,000 foot view of what kind of games we can expect in the next several months. So why do I think we're getting it this week? Well, a couple really easy factors. Number one, with Animal Crossing releasing last week, we now have no games with an actual posted date that Nintendo has done. This is actually incredibly rare, and I can't think of the last time this actually occurred. So this is a very odd place for Nintendo from a communications perspective to be. The second one is this is the end of the fiscal year for them. So they run April 1st to March 31st. So currently they have games out there, not a lot of actually first-party Nintendo games, and none of them have dates. This is a really interesting thing to be ending off your fiscal year with for information, knowing that in April, you're going to be having your investors conversation where they're going to come in and talk about the state of Nintendo and how things have been going and kind of things to look forward to. And it's a good opportunity to kind of get investors very excited. So if you don't have anything posted, no dates, that doesn't give a lot of your investors or shareholders a lot of confidence in relation to that. Now, of course, Animal Crossing at the end of this week or this month had a huge boost in sales, of course, so it's going to be really good there. But the fact that Nintendo has nothing posted is a very odd place for them to be. So I do suspect we are going to get one this week. Now, this does align with kind of the rumors that we did here that there would be a Nintendo Direct. But yeah, that's kind of reasoning why I'm really thinking so. I suspect most likely we'll see the announcement on Tuesday, with the Direct being on Thursday, with something along the lines of it'll probably be about a 30-minute presentation about games coming up in the next several months that you'll be playing. And again, we're going to be looking for some harder dates in there, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see obviously some ports announced as well. I think the rumor is Xenoblade? Is that right? Yeah, I think so. One of those games. Chrono Cross? No, that's not it. Xenoblade looks to be potentially leaked for the end of May of 2020. This kind of makes sense. This is typically where we've seen some of those ports re-released. We see that typically in January and end of May. A couple years ago, we saw that was for Donkey Kong Country, was kind of that rumor or that space as well. So this kind of makes a lot of sense. But I would suspect we'd also see potentially some game that maybe be announced in June. Who knows what that would be? It could be something sports related. It could be like a Mario Golf or something like that. It could be the Paper Mario we've heard some rumor about as well. So it's tough to say, but I do really suspect that we're going to get one this week. It's kind of uncharacteristic for Nintendo not to have something dated. Again, we don't actually have a release date for anything. And if you look at their calendar, there isn't actually any huge or any kind of big first party game that Nintendo now has on the docket that is not a re-release or a port. Now, Bravely Default, you could argue is that, but I don't think that's directly done by them. So they've got there's a little bit of the story to tell that I think they have an opportunity to do here. So again, do suspect a couple things, reasonings. We don't have a release date for anything else, so that's very odd. And then the second one, very simply being, is that it's the end of their fiscal year. The investors are going to want to see something dated as well, some kind of information. Now, that investors call is not until I believe the end of April, that investors meeting. So, I mean, they could obviously release or announce something beginning of April as well, but it just, I don't know. I think the end of March is probably what we'll see, but I could also be completely wrong. That's it. All right, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you also hope for if we get a Nintendo Direct? Again, my speculation, the announcement's Tuesday. The Direct is Thursday, probably 30 minutes-ish. All right, thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.